and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shareen. I'm an interior designer here in New York City, and in this video we are going to be talking about the luxury of Tiffany and their interior design. In this video we are going to be talking about the luxury that is Tiffany and their take on interior design. Happy fall. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shareen. You can find me on Instagram at Green Shareen. That is where I post about interiors, commercial, residential, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you about Tiffany Co and the design that they have going on in their temporary space while they're doing their big renovation. But 2020 is almost over. It's almost over. And as a result, we are drawing in close to a time where people typically like to purchase gifts for other people. And that inspired me taking a trip into one of my inspirations. I'm not going to say it's one of my favorite stores, but I will say they are an inspiration for sure. And checking out what they have going on. The Tiffany's in Fifth Avenue in New York City is actually under renovation right now. And throughout that time, they're working out of a temporary space. And this temporary space is just a few short steps away from their regular location. And in this temporary space, they have decked this place out as if they're staying there forever. And I thought that it was really fun and really nice. And they've actually taken to some architectural elements that usually you wouldn't do unless you were going to stay somewhere for a period of time. So let's take a look at some of them. You'll see things like the lighting. That'll be the first thing that hits you because, as I'm always mentioning to you, you can't really appreciate a space if it's not well lit. The lighting will grab you when you go in there. Their use of color will grab you when you go in there. When they choose not to use color is another important element. They've also introduced a lot of rose gold in with their Tiffany blue, which is fun. There was even a wall where they did a play on the colors and the shades of blue, showing you the CMYK, which is the color schemes of the Tiffany blue, and I thought that that was fun. There was a nice mix and balance of art and jewelry. Not everything was jewelry. Some things were about history, some things were about design and initials and so forth. And I'll show you all of those different elements. They make up a really fun space. When we're purchasing our jewelry, we get these fun little jewelry pouches, which are obviously their infamous color. Their color is used throughout this space, but there are times where they shy away from using their color, which I also think is just as impactful, so that when they do introduce it, it actually makes a statement. Side note, these pouches aren't just to contain your jewelry. They actually work really well to shine your jewelry. So if you ever want to take it and do a little brush up, you can do that with these pouches. Just fun fact, in case you didn't know. If you knew that, comment down below. If you didn't know that, comment down below and let me know that you learned something today. As I walked through that space, I saw how they used gift boxes in order to create this massive Empire State Building, which was really well done. You'll notice that that was lit with other elements in order to make it very fun and much younger. I think Tiffany has an older persona because it's been around for so long, but they definitely had a younger take on it in there with the way that they used lights and LEDs and strips throughout the space. Even on their escalator, and the way that they did that was a really fun take on accessories and lighting. On their back walls, you'll notice that there was a lot of detail. There was texture in all of the walls. Some of them had wood walls, some of them had more of a stone wall, some of them had a drywall plaster that had this like scooped out design, which is actually an infamous design to mimic wheat, which is something that used to inspire the Tiffany family originally as they were creating their jewelry. And so that motif of wheat reigns within the entire like third floor. They have all these elements of the walls in different colors in their standard white and then also in their Tiffany blue, but it gives some depth to the wall. And I like that they shied away from a wallpaper there. I feel like wallpaper would have been really what's expected, but the fact that they did something a little bit different was totally fun. Packaging is important. I think with jewelry, you look at things like the jewelry boxes, and if I'm designing for a space and I see a jewelry box, I want something that's plush and fun inside, and you get this like satin feel, and it says Tiffany. And on here, you don't really identify this as a Tiffany box until you open it and you can see the name. So obviously having the name somewhere is important. And there, they also used carpet and plush carpet meticulously. It was in certain areas where you were walking, and then you would step and you would have a more plush, more comfortable step. And I thought that that was really, really interesting, but also made me feel like I was kind of inside of a jewelry box, sort of. And I think that's the vibe they were going for. You can also see that with a lot of the polished stainless steel throughout the space that they used. It definitely gives you this vibe of being in this polished space. It gives you a clean feeling. It feels like luxury, and it feels like money. Tiffany, of course, has all kinds of elements. They have not just the jewelry sections, but they also have their home section. This is a Tiffany spoon, which my daughter received when she was born, because everyone needs a silver spoon, right? Everyone needs a silver spoon. In this, you have the Elsa Peretti motif. I believe that's the Elsa Peretti motif. It is the apple signia on the top. This is, yeah, it is Elsa Peretti. On this spoon, you have the Elsa Peretti signature, and you can also see the detail up here on the top. They have different sections of their store that's outlined in different areas, and those different sections all have a different feel. I mentioned earlier, I alluded to the wood versus the stone versus the scooped out wheat design. There's an area where they have a whole map talking about how they sustainably and responsibly source their diamonds and can pinpoint where specifically that diamond came from now when they're doing their mining. Impeccable. I thought that that was awesome. What did we learn from the Tiffany store? We learned about the importance of lighting, which I've told you a ton. We've learned about the decluttering. What differentiates them from other jewelry stores is when you go in, you can actually see what's in their showcase as opposed to being bombarded by every item that's out there. Even they follow the declutter rule. They want you to know what's there, but they also allow space for things to breathe and for you to move around that area comfortably. Some other things that we learned from that area is using your color scheme and using it with emphasis and effort and not overdoing it. So you want to make sure that you have your color, you're working with your mood board, but you're intentional about how that's used in your space. And for them, the lighting. They have some drop ceilings in certain areas and some incredible lighting that surrounds the ceiling. Their track lighting is really well done and tastefully done. And I enjoyed my little visit there. So thank you for spending this time with me. You could have been anywhere on YouTube, but you chose to be with me. And if you are going to start your holiday shopping, now is kind of the time, because there's only a couple weeks until the end of this year. I'm just saying, and I don't know about you, but I'm excited about the end of this year. And I'm excited about what next year will bring. For sure excited about that. Really excited to see what they have in store for us in their official store once that finally gets finished. If this was any indication of what is to come, we are definitely going to see a younger, trendier feeling Tiffany, and I look forward to it. I even welcome it. Thank you for spending this time with me. You could have been anywhere on YouTube, but you chose to be with me, and I appreciate that. I am thankful for you, and I will see you next week, next Thursday to be exact. I mean, unless you want to watch one of these other videos, which you definitely should. Ciao.